We often see people with high intelligence and a relentless work ethic reach a certain point in their careers and then simply stop. On paper, they have every ingredient for success, yet they hit a ceiling they cannot explain. Conventional wisdom suggests these individuals lack motivation or missed a critical opportunity. However, looking at the long-term data, those explanations rarely hold up. This stagnation is better described as a systemic malfunction in human cognitive wiring. It operates as a recurring loop beneath conscious awareness. When raw talent and hard work fail to generate forward momentum, it suggests a specific behavioral mechanism is sabotaging the trajectory from within. For 12 years, a behavioral lab at Stanford University tracked individuals who struggled to reach their potential. They were looking for the specific neurological patterns that separated those who moved forward from those who stayed stuck. Researchers uncovered a repeating behavioral pattern that was reportedly removed from the final public report due to how precisely it predicted failure. The study identified this mechanism as micro-avoidance. These are split-second decisions made specifically to delay immediate minor discomfort. You see it when someone avoids a difficult conversation, postpones a project because of a minor uncertainty, or waits a few extra days to ask for feedback. Micro-avoidance functions like a silent leak in a ship. A single drop is insignificant, but over a decade, these tiny delays accumulate into stalled careers. The danger lies in the scale of the decision. Because the delays are so small, they evade conscious detection, leaving the individual unaware they are actively undermining their own goals. The Stanford team mapped the exact neurological loop that drives these split-second delays. At the first sign of psychological friction, the amygdala, the brain's fear center, triggers an instinctual freeze response. It then releases subtle cortisol signals that quietly move through the nervous system. This chemical signal nudges the body away from the stressor and back toward immediate comfort. This happens so quickly that the body executes the retreat before the conscious mind even registers a sense of threat. This occurs despite the presence of the prefrontal cortex, the highly evolved rational decision-making center of the brain. While the prefrontal cortex can technically override this impulse, the signal usually bypasses the rational center entirely during a micro-avoidance event. This bypass functions like a software glitch running quietly in the background. It drags down the system's performance without ever crashing the computer or alerting the user. We then rationalize the delay. We believe it's a logical choice to wait until we're fresher, when we are actually following a chemical nudge to avoid pain. This creates a high-stakes reality. We believe we are acting freely, while our primitive brain is secretly hijacking our decisions. The 12-year Stanford data shows that consistent micro-avoidance serves as the primary predictor of a lifelong plateau. This pattern proved more accurate in predicting long-term failure than a person's baseline intelligence, their level of external support, or their access to opportunity. These split-second delays aggregate over a decade. A project postponed today or a conversation avoided tomorrow results in an entirely stalled career by year 10. Potential is slowly eroded by the brain's quiet preference for avoiding minor discomforts, even when an individual's motivation remains high. Because this is a mechanical loop, it is possible to hack the glitch and rewrite the neural pathway. Personal growth relies on building the habit of interruption. This requires recognizing the exact moment the amygdala triggers the comfort loop and choosing to step into the friction instead of retreating. Every time you act despite the friction, you physically weaken and degrade the neural pathway dedicated to avoidance. The difference between being permanently stuck and completely unstoppable is the ability to interrupt these microscopic patterns before they solidify into your actual life.